Okay. Let me bring up my notes. All right. So we just kind of wanted to come together, Emily and I, and go over a few things really quick, because I know some of you have a lot of experience in direct sales and some of you have dabbled a little bit and then some not so much experience. And so we kind of just wanted to form a game plan, especially with Tabitha, kind of on the mend. And she is the person that brought us all together. She's like that glue. So I just kind of wanted to form a game plan. And if you were on the leader call yesterday, you kind of heard Natalie go over like the statistics in network marketing. So 20 to 30% acquisition, for advocates. So what that means is if you're bringing in, 100 people, 20 to 30% of those people are going to, stay around and work. So what's really important is like when you're talking to your team or you have leaders coming to you or other people on your team, that you realize like it's not something you're doing or the company or anything like that. That is just an industry-wide statistic, and that's going to happen. And it's also really important that when you're in a team chat, being the leader, that you're communicating that positivity in the chats, not like, oh my gosh, me too, because your downline and other leaders downline, they feed off of you. They look up to you. You guys are the leaders of this team, and whatever you guys are picking up, whatever you guys are doing, they're gonna pick up and do as well. So if you guys have a lot of energy and momentum and just like excitement, they're gonna have a lot of energy, momentum, excitement. Same thing, in reverse, if you guys are kind of just not doing much, they probably won't either. And so that's why we wanted to get together. Is your team doesn't know Emily and I very well. They know you guys. So they're not really all following us. So they're going to pick up what you guys do. My excitement isn't going to really relay that far down with you guys being such a new team. And with Tabitha being out, it's really going to be important that you guys communicate that with within that team chat. Hi, Emily. Emily's on. So yes, lead by example. I went over that. And I know you guys might have, like, I know Lindsay, you do team meetings, right? With your team. So Christmas is coming, and so it's going to be a little different in the next couple weeks. But what we're going to do is in the leader chat, we have like a business like campaign. We're all going to put out some social media graphics for the next week or so. I think that'll take us up until about the 22nd. Obviously, people are going to be a little more off social media because of Christmas, New Year's, whatever it is. But then I'm going to put together a team call on that Tuesday following New Year's for us all to come back together and just kind of do a big push going into January. So I would love for you guys to kind of hype that up and get together. But moving forward, and I hope Tabitha is feeling healthy and herself again, and so she can get back to her team calls. But if not, getting your team together for calls once a month or whatever it may be that you think is appropriate would be really good. Just like an open forum, if you don't know how to lead a call, or ask Emily and I to hop on with you if you don't know how to lead a call, just to let new advocates kind of ask questions or brainstorm or whatever it may be, because that community and coming together and communication is really important. Emily, do you have anything else, Emily Gritzer, to add to that?
No, not right now. Just like what you said, I've noticed in my business, like when I post something, like today I did a story loop on the business, and I know I'm going to see people on your team, but mostly the girls that I've signed are going to be posting about the business. Like it's just what they do. So they really do look up to you for like, what do I talk about today? Because sometimes they just don't know. So be thinking about that too.
Yeah. Exactly. Um, and that kind of goes into, especially if you're a new leader and maybe you kind of didn't have that role before, working your personal business versus like working with your team, because there is, when you get up to director, master director, and beyond, you kind of have to figure out what that's going to look like, because you can't give 100% to your team and then neglect your personal business. So it really is finding that healthy balance of, okay, I'm going to spend this amount of time with reach outs and follow-ups that are directly related to, my sales and my recruiting. And then I'm going to devote this time to helping my team, because I know just from like personal experience, I'll get wrapped up helping my team do three-way calls or my team do this. And I totally forget that like I still have to be recruiting, because if my team sees me recruiting and still out here there 4 years later doing all of that, they're like, okay, I can do that. So it really is important that you don't neglect your personal business ever, because that should always be number one. Always be number one. It are your numbers. Um, and then, we really want to stress like January is good. You're going to see a little bit of slowdown come in the next couple weeks, but January, hopefully I can meet all you guys in Wilmington. But there's going to be a lot of excitement, following leadership, a lot of fun things, and you're going to hear from a lot of exciting, like you'll hear from the cooks and everybody. So it's going to be really good to bring that back to your team, especially for anyone who hasn't met, the founders or a corporate team or any other leaders. Like, so bringing back that excitement and taking videos and sharing it on social media, that's not just for people you're trying to recruit. That's for your team to see as well. Like, that is so huge for them to see, because they're thinking in their head, okay, I have to get there next year. I have to get to leadership. How am I going to get to director? So that's part of your role as a leader. And I know for myself, that was a big shift for me, was, I couldn't talk about certain things anymore with my downline because I was in a different position. Like, I would talk to my upline about certain things that I didn't like, or my numbers weren't right, because you don't want to complain to your downline, like you have to be motivating them. Like, that is our job as leaders, right? So I just really think that because we're in a different situation than normal, I've wanted everybody to kind of be able to communicate with me and ask questions and just see if there's anything I can help you with, especially in that leadership role that you kind of like just dove into right away. So we can kind of like have a open forum now.
I don't have any questions, but I did put in the chat, and I said this when Tabitha kind of said that she was stepping out. I kind of right away was like, anyone can join anything with me. I just want to remind everyone of that again. We have a pretty good system going, and I put the things in there. We have an onboarding call tonight, and then like a big call on the flow of conversations from beginning to close tomorrow. And then we have an opportunity call on Monday and a vision and goal setting call on the 27th that I can open up to anyone. And Abby and I are running those together. But I wanted to say something, like, as you're saying this, just to kind of piggyback on you. And this is like what I always remind myself of, and anyone else, is like, right now, if there was a time to let go of the idea that success was the amount of followers and likes that you're getting and the amount of views, like, you have to break up with that idea. I feel like this time of season, and know that everything that you're doing is painting the picture and setting the platform for February 1st, not January 1st, not January mid, but like February 1st. It's like this time where people get to look back, and they're going to be watching you, but they're not really ready. Their New Year's resolution, they might be ready for something, but they're kind of, people are thinking different things, health and fitness, whatever. But I feel like come February 1st or right before February, people are like, okay, enough is enough. I'm ready to feel different. I can kind of come down from this. And so I'm always like, this is just my experience. I feel like I just post for me and almost make it like this next month is like my journal on social media. Like I'm just journaling and I'm just sharing and I have zero expectations. I'm not going to be like, dang it, I'm not even getting traction. So what's the point? I have zero expectations. My expectations is my delivery, knowing that it's going to come into fruition come, you know, end January or beginning of February. And I think that's the biggest thing. And I just wanted to share that only because I wanted to piggyback off what you said, because it's so true to just keep going at this time. Because we think that people aren't watching or they're not seeing, but they are. It's just a lot of times, you know, they're just not ready. And when you paint the picture that you're the consistent one and you paint the picture that you're the one sharing, then you're the person that when they're finally ready to spend the money again, they're finally ready to join something, you're the person that they're like, wait, she's been like, you know, doing that. So it's like breaking up with that idea. So many people fall off because what's the point? And it's like, I actually think that if there was a time that was the most important time to stay consistent and show up with zero expectations, it's now.
Yeah,
you know, so.
absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, this is truly not like an instant gratification business for 80% of the people. Like the work you do now is probably going to pay off in 60 to 90 days. And, you know, speaking to the whole followers thing, most of when I started Green Compass, I think I might have had 1,500 followers, like maybe 1,000, 1,500. Most of my followers are Green Compass people, so they're not buying from me. But I am, you know, I'm not saying this to gloat or anything, but I'm always top in sales and PC, you know, and recruits. And has nothing to do with my follower numbers at all. I had a girl who was on my team who had 50,000 followers and literally like could not hold on to anybody, you know? So it really has nothing to do with that at all. It's the consistency and who is putting in the work and who is, you know, has the leadership and doing all the things like that. So those are the things that are going to pay off.
Yeah, I just told my team yesterday, you have to keep going when no one's cheering for you, or else it won't. Because if you're only going with someone's watching or someone's talking, it's going to fizzle out. I don't know how many people I have that like just now, like even now that are like, oh, I've been watching you for months, but I've never said anything. There will be more.
Yep. Absolutely. I mean, I have that 4 years in, they're like, people I would have never known were watching me. And I'm like, why didn't you say something 2 years ago? But yeah, it's so true. So I think just kind of telling those stories and communicating that to the team in that chat or whatever chat you guys want to talk in would be really good, because we are going to have people fall off. It just is what it is in the industry, and that's okay. You know, some people just aren't meant for it. And if some people just want to dabble, that's fine too. But some people just need to hear that little bit, that little story that like one person can change your whole business overnight, you know? So I just kind of wanted to get that out there, because I know, you know, this is a little difficult with Tabitha dealing with some things. So, all right. Well, I know you guys are busy. I don't want to take up any more time. Emily, do you have anything else you want to add?
So we had a team meeting last night and I did open that up to Tabitha's team, and we did have quite a few pop on. So I was happy with that. And I did invite them to next Mondays if they would like to come. We do a plan your week out and we plan posts. And I do think that's really helpful for some people that are the type that freeze if they don't know what to do. And so just know that I will also put that in Tabitha's chat. And I hope like I just want people to feel like, you know, they have somebody, because there's a lot of us leaders and they're not all going to connect. Like Ali said, they're not all going to connect with me or her or, you know, Kate or whoever. But if we all just pick up a little bit, I think they'll find the person that they feel comfortable with, you know, and we'll keep everybody going until she gets back. And I love that Lindsay wants to open up the onboarding and all of that. I think that would be amazing. So Lindsay, if you can post that, like, I know you had like a little graphic, if you can post that in Tabitha's bigger thread, that would be wonderful.
Yeah, and Lindsay, let me know if you need help. I can't do tomorrow because I have a launch tomorrow, but with any of the other calls, if you need help, just let me know. So,
All right, awesome. Thank you. Yeah, it's funny because Abby's running them with me, which is amazing. We're two totally opposites, which works wonderful. She's like, we need slides, so she's creating slides, and then she's like, what are we talking about? I'm like, this is what we're talking about, and we're like tag teaming it. Really, we're having fun with it. But I love, like, honestly, it's so nice. I just want to say it's really nice that you guys are doing this for everyone because you're doing it for Tabitha. I know that. And I know it's to help like keep the network together, but you're also doing this because you really care about everybody, no matter how far down they are in your downline of their success, and making sure that they have everything they need. And you know, I haven't seen this other places, and I'm really, really appreciative of it. So I'm happy to open it, extend it. And if I need help, I'm definitely not scared to ask. So thank you so much.
no problem. Yeah, and I will do whatever is necessary. So yeah, just post those, and then my dog is let me know how I can help. And I will convert this as soon as we're done, just so you guys can send it out.
Thank you so much, Allie. And I really hope I get to meet most of you at leadership. I'm going to be so sad that Lindsay's not there, but hopefully everybody else can give you a hug in real life.
Yes, it'll be a lot of fun.
All right. Thanks, ladies.
Thank you. Bye,
Bye.
guys.